Hello everyone and welcome to this new video of the module Study of Literary Texts. My name is Dr. BELAHMAR LOUAZANI and today we're going to see the first chapter of the module. The title is Introduction to Literature. The main points of this first chapter are definition, scope, and significance of literature. Why do we study it? Why is it important? The second main sub-chapter or point that we will discuss in this first chapter is different types of literature. So, which types are there? And the third part of this first chapter is the role of literature in society. What role does it play and why again is it important? So, the first point is definitions, scope, and significance of literature. Now, literature refers to written works that express ideas, emotions, stories, or insights through language. Now, it is important to note here that literature is not only in written form. So we have also oral forms of literature that is transferred from generation to generation before the human can write. So ancient history encompasses that. So literature as a whole encompasses a broad range of texts or oral stories that reflect human experience, culture, and imagination. So why do we study it? Now, literature is obviously significant because it helps us understand different perspectives. My perspective could not always match yours. You can have your own perspective, your own outlook on life. And through literature, we can share this. We can share each other's thoughts and outlooks. It also preserves cultural heritage. Now, each culture, each type of country shares a different, again, outlook, a different tradition, customs, and it is preserved through literature. It also stimulates critical thinking. Now, these are some of the main literary elements that you see that are recurrent in literature when studying it. So you have the plot, which is the sequence of events that make up a story. So it can have points like exposition, rising action, climax, fall in action, and resolution or the conclusion. What do we take from this story? Now, the plot drives the narrative forward and keeps the reader engaged. The second point is setting. Now, any story has a setting. The setting is the time and place where a story occurs. So it provides context and it can influence the mood, tone, and characters' behaviors. Settings can be real or fictional. So you have, for example, Neverland in Peter Pan, or you can have Netherlands, which is a real country. The third main point is characters. Now, these are the personnages, or the main people that drive the story forward. They participate in the story. They can be protagonists, so the main characters. They can be antagonists, which is the evil kind of side to the antagonists. There are two. You have protagonists and antagonists, so let's say good and evil, or you have also supporting characters that aid either the protagonists or the antagonists. The fourth main literary element is theme. Now, each story again has a theme, especially fictional stories. They have a certain theme going on. Now, it is the central idea, the message, or underlying meaning of a literary work. Themes often explore universal concepts such as love, justice, or human nature. The fifth element, literary element, that is again recurrent in literature is symbolism. So symbolism is the use of symbols like objects, characters, or events that represent ideas or qualities beyond their literal sense. So symbolism adds depth and layers of meaning to a story, something that you see is not always what it means or what the author means by using it. For example, the color red. If a woman is wearing a red dress, it can mean different things. So it can be, for example, a sign of revenge. She's out for revenge, or she is in love. Now, here we have a quick exercise that students will participate in. So we have 4 different suggestions, and the students need to choose one, the correct one. So which of the following best describes the scope of literature? Is it only fictional stories? Is it all written works that express ideas and emotions or stories? Is it scientific and technical manuals only? Is it spoken words and oral traditions only? Now, obviously, the right answer is B. Now, the second main point, different types of literature. Here we look at the 4 main types of literature, which is fiction, again, imaginative stories. We have also poetry, so poems, like literary works by Shakespeare. We also have drama, which are theater pieces, which are, again, texts meant for performance. We also have pieces of theater by Shakespeare, again, that we can think of, like Romeo and Juliet. And the 4th kind, that is nonfiction, so essays or autobiographies, biographies, and such. Again, an example that might come to mind is Shakespeare's Hamlet, which is a drama or a theater piece, which is a story performed on stage. Another type of literature is nonfiction that we can think of, that is Al-Muqaddimah by Ibn Khaldun, and it's about real facts. It discusses how civilizations change over time using facts and analysis. It is not a story nor a play. So drama shows a fictional story through acting, while nonfiction explains real events and concepts through writing. Now, the 3rd point of this first chapter is the role of literature in society. What does it do for society and vice versa? So literature plays a vital role in shaping societies. It reflects cultural values, challenges social norms, and promotes empathy by allowing readers to see the world through others' eyes, as we have discussed earlier. So literature can inspire change, preserve history, and foster national identity. Very important in this module is the discussion in pairs, and then the discussion with the entire class, with myself, the instructor, and together with the students. So can you think of any work of literature that has had a significant impact on society and human history? Now, there are several that we can think of. Yes? So we have the Quran, for example. It is the holy book of Islam revealed to Prophet Muhammad ﷺ, and is the most influential literary and spiritual work in the Muslim world. And it still impacts individuals today. We also have an example of oral literature that still, again, has an impact today, which is Martin Luther King Jr.'s speech, I Have a Dream, in 1963. It is what prompted the civil rights movement in the US. Again, you can think of the Muqaddimah, which we have seen already, but it is still something that has shaped human history. Now, as a conclusion, it is important to remind ourselves of the importance of literature and what it means. So, it spreads ideas, so books, poems, and plays share new ways of thinking that can influence people's beliefs and actions. It preserves culture, so it keeps stories, traditions, and history alive for future generations. It encourages change, so powerful works can motivate people to fight for justice, for freedom, or equality. It also reflects society, so literature shows what society values, fears, or struggles with. It helps us understand history. These are some of the references used throughout and that are important, which students can always review. And I would like to thank you for your attention.